Hey up, I'll do, and welcome to episode 4 on today's Loose Lips. I'm Ben Random. We're going to be speaking with Ben Marsh, a videographer, and we're going to be speaking with him. I want to actually get a few tips. I'm setting up my own vlog, so I'm going to be hitting him up for a few tips and that as well, but also some of the clients as well and people that he's captured. So he's just sent the request through, so let me link him now. Yes, bruv, you alright?
Hey mate, all right.
I'm good, brother. How are you?
I'm not too bad. I've been waiting a little bit. You had me on at 5, so I've
Were
ended
it
up watching.
5? No, you were at 6.
No, I was at 5, and then the fella who had us was on at 6. But it's fine though. It's sweet. I just ended up watching that last one because I thought it was the guy before me, and I thought he'd run over. And so I watch him, and then every so often I think, right, they're coming to a close now. Then he'd ask a question. I'm like, shit, man, what's happening? But he don't mind.
No way.
You were both talking about stuff that I was thinking, oh, I'd like to be involved in that. You were talking about shit that I were into, so it was sweet.
Fair. Apologies. That's mad, that. That's it. It's the behind the scenes that people don't see, the simple stuff of giving people a time and date that I can still fuck up.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, bro.
You're all right.
Would you be able to turn me down a bit on yours?
Yeah, definitely. Why are you coming?
Just echoing a bit, yeah? I love that t-shirt as well, mate.
Thank you, mate. I've only worn this a couple of times. I bought it from America recently, and then literally I came back from America to quarantine, so I've worn it like maybe twice. So I thought I'd dress up for you. You know what I mean?
I love that. Nice and bright.
What's my mic like? Can you hear it all right?
Yeah, I can. It's still got a bit of an echo pop.
Is it? I've got it in balance on the keyboard. Don't know.
Let's see it. Oh. Yeah. It'll be right. We'll swerve through. It's all good. Where were you in America?
I've just been in Florida for a month. I went at the start of February, got back at the start of March. So it was pretty lucky, really, because literally it was the final week that we were over there, all quarantine stuff started happening, and then I flew, and it was in the airport, there were little signs of it and that. And then I got back to England, it pretty much went into lockdown, so yeah.
I heard Florida were responding to it a bit different, though. I've
heard.
Their governor wanted to try and keep it open.
So in Florida, so obviously Florida is the size of maybe the UK or England or whatever. And certain counties, they were quarantining, and then other counties weren't. And it was the equivalent of you could be in Yorkshire and everyone would be locked down, and then all you'd have to do was drive over to Manchester, over to whatever, and everyone just living a normal life or whatever. So it's pretty crazy.
That's mad. That is mad. But I mean, how has it affected you this time?
It's funny. I don't want to offend no one because I don't know, it's a touchy subject, when people say how are you doing and whatever. And at first I wasn't liking it at all. I was a bit paranoid. But I've been well enjoying it, to be fair. I feel like I'm the healthiest I've ever been. I'm running every day. I've not really been seeing no one, but I've been playing quite a lot of Call of Duty, chatting with mates on the night and shit, and catching up with work. I'm more cold than I've ever been, so that's nice. So yeah, it's one of them. It's everyone's kind of experiencing it a little bit different, and I don't know. It's been a little bit of a blessing in disguise for me, at least. So yeah, what about you?
A bit the same. I think you've got to look at it where everybody's sort of going through it as they're going through it, and it's what can we do to adapt to make this the best situation. So when everything sort of presses play, or as it resets and we get to go again, that we're in a good state to pick up.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do, really. Yeah, I want to be more caught up with my work, because I'm always working in advance. Say I film something, I'm never that caught up that I film something and then I'm editing it that maybe the following day or whatever, because I've always got loads of projects before that one, so I'm always working ahead of myself, sort of thing. So when I come out of this, I want to be filming a project and that week blasting it. You know what I mean? Hopefully, we'll see. Probably give it like 3 years and I'll be back like back. Yeah.
How do you balance projects with editing? Because surely from the outset it'd be that you've shot something, so you know you're in that world already. You're like, right, I'm already adapt to what this project is wanting to look like, and then you're off onto something else, and then when you come back to that original one, you might be out of sync with it. So how do you keep it still fresh?
Yeah, I think once you go through all your footage and you cut it up, I was just reminded of what, like, as I was shooting it, what my sort of vision was on that, I guess. And then before I know it, it just kind of comes together. So,
I'm setting up a vlog.
I know, yeah, you mentioned a moment ago, yeah.
Yeah, mate.
What's the plan with that? What do you want to cover?
Well, this is it. So I've sort of realised, like, I live quite an interesting life. So I want to capture it, but I want to try tell the story of telling stories within a story. So I don't just want it to be like I'm going to go DJ and then I go DJ, or I'm going to do stand up. I want to somehow build like the narrative in between of something else happening, like a bit of a subplot. So I've set myself a challenge of doing an edit for when I started 15 days on the bounce. So just while in lockdown, coming up with different, like, innate almost topics, but to find the story in what seems innate, so that when something is huge, then it'll be easy to create that story. So I'm going to do something for the next 15 days, and then I'm going to do one a week.
All right. What? So you're going to do one every day?
Yeah, one every day. So just on daft stuff, like one's going to be on my cat. One's going to be on like my old houses where I lived and stuff, and I want to sort of take people back on like a story, a bit about me, really. So I've got an idea, but I'm just thinking out acting it. But got a bad boy gimbal.
Yeah, see.
It's a game changer. That I feel that's a game changer.
Yeah, they're good then. Definitely.
Have you got any pointers or tips? Sorry, say that again.
To shoot it on your phone?
Yeah, so that's the reason, is because I was looking at a DSLR. Yeah. I was looking at a Nikon 560D, but to spend on that and all its accessories, I thought, well, I could just get the phone and it's got 4K quality and the phone's on me. And I think what's always held me back is that I want to be in the moment rather than like setting everything up and making sure that it's all right to go through. So I think the phone's the perfect merge, because I still want it to feel quite raw and loose, but the edit's still polished so that people know that it's shot in a loose way, but it's still like efficiently done.
Yeah, definitely. But people message me quite often, just like when they're going on holiday, saying like, what shall I buy in terms of, to go film it on, like, shall I buy a GoPro and that? And I always say just phone to like bang on, like your iPhone 11, the cameras on them and stuff, they're absolutely crazy, like that widescreen shit it does nowadays. So yeah, you've done it right with getting that with the gimbal, with the phone and that. You box it with that.
Well, the other thing as well is the audio. So, like, I was looking at some Rode mics, because you can get some decent plugins for the phone as well. But I'm just trying to sort of find the best mic while I'm out, because a lot of it's going to be out on the road, isn't it? So I just want to make sure the audio's class. Yeah.
You can buy when I interview people and stuff, like I do it records straight onto my iPhone, like using a little collar mic sort of thing. I think they're only like 50 quid or something, and the quality on them is absolutely bang on. So,
well, I've got a clip on. I've got a clip on for when I'm doing like one-to-ones, but it's more like when I'm picking up different shots, like, and there's a few of us.
Yeah.
But I've got my eye on some stuff. But how did you get into it? How long have you been doing it for?
Been doing it since I was 15. And obviously, so I'm nearly 30 now. Been doing it like nearly 10 years paid, and then there was kind of 5 years messing about and whatever before that. So it's been quite a long one. But I feel like nowadays with a lot of things, because it was quite I guess it were a bit more, not niche back then, but it was like less available to just kind of go do, because not everyone just had cameras, you had to be going out your way to get a camera. Whereas now people find out that they love like videography and photography through the phone more than anything. They start filming on the phone and then they're like, I'm into this. Who's
Yeah.
that? There's this little battery. What the fuck is this? What are they going to say?
No, I think you're right. I think it feels like it can be a career now. Like you say, the term videographer, like it might have been a word, but it weren't a prevalently used term back in the day. It never felt like you could really, in that sense, have a fully fledged like career in it. So I think that's what's changed over the time.
Oh, definitely, definitely. There's so many more people now that will come into it like for just to like try and make a job or a career out of it. Whereas like back when I'd started, that wasn't available. So you like everyone who kind of got into it from that generation, I guess, is in it from the beginning for the love, I guess. Do you know what I mean? They're there
Yeah, I
for
do.
like just pure passion for a time before like social media were popping and whatever. So I always kind of respect someone a little bit more when I see that they've come from that sort of era, when I know that they've not like been driven into it for the sake of money or trying to like jump on a bandwagon and get these trips here and there through work and whatever. Do you know what I mean? So
What were your first camera?
I had this little, it was like a 10 megapixel, just little digital camera. It was like about that big. This were years ago, and the footage from that were like, it were like filming on like an old Sony Ericsson phone or something. Do you know what I mean? It was like, yeah, it was nothing good. And then I don't know, through the years, just been getting bits here and there, just little upgrades and that. I've never had anything too wild. I like it just kind of being like sort of not dispensable, but I don't know. I kind of maybe I treat them a bit like rough and ready sort of thing quite often. You know what I mean? I don't want a huge rig where you've got to be proper safe and careful on your toes and that. I want to just always have something that can get battered and thrown about a little bit and that. So yeah.
And then like developing the skill of telling the story. How long into it did that come to you? And what would you say does make a good like story?
I think that sort of thing maybe comes natural. Like probably, obviously, it'll get better within time. But I feel like I don't know. I've never really thought about that. But I feel like it's probably something that for a lot of people just comes almost like logically and natural. Like I guess it's practice more than anything of knowing like what shots pull like another scene together just like that and just shooting them like second nature without really thinking about it and that.
I think that's it. I think is it called B footage or B stock? So yeah, just knowing that you've got those bits that are going to tie the piece together.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like when you're shooting, the best thing you can do is just the more you shoot, the more you've got to play with. Do you know what I mean? And I think if you've got a lot of footage for anything, you can't really go wrong. You'll be able to make something from it.
And then is it quite a harsh lesson and severe when you come to the editing side and you've shot something that you fully love, but it doesn't quite work for the scene?
A little bit. I don't know. I think you can always make something work. You know what I mean? You just gotta adapt and make something work. That's why I don't actually really I don't like shooting music videos for the reason that like you can shoot something, you can think you've got all your footage and that you're done, and then you'll get into the editing suite and whatever, and you might just totally have like a part of the track where, because obviously like you tend to play the music and then you mime over the top of it, or the artist mimes over the top of it, and then you might play like you might without really realizing you might shoot it 15 times. And every time you might have not done like a certain part, just out of laziness. You might have just been like, right, we'll play it from there, we'll shoot that, and then you might nail it over and over, and then you've totally like left a certain part of the song. And then I've been editing before, like music videos on, and we've been like, right, we've got to go out and shoot just for that bit. Do you know what I mean? And that shit does my head in. Like when you think you got to go out again, you got to meet up with someone and do it. So I do try to avoid music videos for that exact reason, really. That it's not the same as like I like stuff that's kind of just vloggy and documentary, because you're shooting what's there within the moment, and then that is the moment. As soon as the moment passes, you can't go out and really stage stuff, or you shouldn't at least. So yeah, that's why I like doing the weddings. Really, you shoot that day, and that day is the day. That's the big day, and I guess whatever, even shooting scenery and stuff on like another day, I'm not so much into it, because I just still always feel like it was that day. Do you know what I mean?
That moment's caught.
Yeah, definitely. Even if it's the weather and just
The mood.
So, yeah.
Capturing that mood. That's what I feel a good videographer does. It just captures that mood.
Yeah, definitely.
So what are the? I was speaking with a friend who's a videographer, and he was sort of talking about weddings and like how he loves going to the wedding side of it. And one thing he said, which is crazy, which it's so obvious, but I didn't even think about, is you're in an industry where really you shouldn't get repeat customers.
Yeah. For what reason?
Because the
weddings, you shouldn't have that.
Yeah, because so it's more referral based, isn't it, than repeat customers, which is one of that must be such a unique place, because any other business you're always going to rely on repeat custom.
I like it, me, because I feel like once you've done the job, let's say you nail the job every time, you kind of, that bond between you and the customer is kind of always just cemented and positive and good to go forever, sort of thing. You know what I mean? You don't have them, like, you don't do the video and then they come back and you maybe like bodge up the next one, like you're just done and jobs are good and sort of thing. Maybe anyway, depends how good you are, but for me, I feel like I've kind of got like 100% track record, I'd like to think anyway, where I've kind of had them customers and we're all on a good buzz and that still. So
yeah, that's what you were saying, is like you've got that relationship with them, but through any other sort of business, it's like if you do a good job and a good service, they'll come back and come back. But because it's like they're just getting married that once, touch wood, then it almost comes to referrals. So it just must be a bit of a weird, different paradigm for the business.
It is, yeah. I've not thought about that too much, to be fair, but I do like how it works. And I mean, there's the amount of referrals you can get if you just, even from one wedding, let's say you've got 80 guests at a wedding, there's going to be a few of them who are going to be getting married in due course, because everyone's similar age and that, and then that's where you tend to get most of your next bookings, I guess, just from people who've seen your work from previous weddings. So yeah.
How do you balance your diary if, say, like you've got weddings and stuff booked in, but then an opportunity comes where you could be on the road and you've got more of your vlog style documentaries? How do you balance the two?
In terms of what, the editing, or
No, actually the jobs themselves. Like, say if you've got something that comes up, and
if I've got weddings booked in, they'll take like priority over anything, really. Do you know what I mean? Because they tend to book in for like a year or two before. So like my 2021 now is pretty much, well, it's just about full really for weddings. And
but
so,
do you keep like particular weekends free, or would you happily book yourself up?
no, just kind of. So I've got like 15 in for next year, and so they're like 15 obviously different dates of the year, and then as far as I see it, I've just kind of, essentially I'm only going out 15 days in that year to shoot, and so I've got all that other time free. So it's a good position to be in. Like you've got more time than you could ever possibly need, but then with all that other spare time, I just try to cap it at maybe 15 weddings, and then whatever jobs are going to come along the way, I'll take other jobs maybe like a week in advance and whatever, take them as they come, sort of thing. So
Yeah, because I suppose with the other side, you can't really plan as ahead as you do with the weddings, clearly.
no, definitely not. But they come. There's that many people wanting videos on that you just kind of roll with it, and then yeah, they do seem to come. So, and then a lot of cool jobs and that, it can be like, so I feel like some of the best trips and that are that spontaneous that, I don't know, there's never too much of a worry. Stuff just always seems to come up, really. And yeah, you just got to make sure I've got the weddings booked in and ticking them off, and then everything else just handles itself, I guess.
What's it like when you are in that situation, when you're doing more of the vlog, like documentary style, like because you're there, but it's almost like, I guess you want to the people that you're filming, not intrude, so you capture the most natural bits.
Yeah. So like with a wedding, you would never hear me from behind the camera, let's say, but whereas like when I shoot stuff with TZ, like because we've done quite a big documentary series, me and him, which have been on TV and whatever, and I speak quite a lot from behind the camera on them, and I've had people in the past say like, "Oh, you're one of the good parts about it is that like you don't get many documentaries where the person behind the camera has such an input, whereas on them you can see that it's on whatever he's doing, I'm kind of reacting to it behind the camera. So I don't know. I guess it's different for each project and how well you know each person and whatever. So.
Do you think like something like that, because that did have legs, that did have legs, that one you did with TZ? Like, do you think there's other scope for it as well? And would you still want to be as familiar with them and be able to have that input? Because obviously that helps. I remember one bit, I think we were all on the train going to he had to run into Top Shop to get a t-shirt or whatever, and they were all on a train heading up to Blackpool, I think, and you were on train. You were actually shooting yourselves all on thing. It was really cool how you did that. You were with them. You were part of the crew.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, no, I think they were always like, people did love them episodes, and we used to get some like really good inboxes with them, and they're a bit like podcasts. I guess that podcasts are so long that you don't ever get like huge numbers on a podcast, because like it is such a small market of people who want to sit down and listen to someone for an hour. Do you know what I mean? So whereas like a 10-second video might go viral, like an hour is not going to have that sort of reach, which was exactly the same with the documentaries that I did with Tom and Kane. Like that, we won't necessarily get like huge views on that, but the people who were fans and did take the time to sit down and watch them did tend to really enjoy them, and they'd let us know. And that was all that kind of mattered to us, I guess, as long as the people who, the hardcore fans who want to sit down and watch it, as long as they had good things to say about it, we were happy. And Tom he's had a couple of little spin-offs from it, and then at the moment he's on the verge maybe of landing something big, which he's very buzzing about. It's not so much something that I think I'd be involved in. It's quite a big spotlight, and yeah, whether that happens, we'll have to see. But I think it is. Whether that happens, I don't know. But I feel like it is quite a lot off the back of the Sick Live stuff. Maybe anyway. So,
Would you like to step in more involved with like a production team and do more of the stuff like that, or do you like the self-employed, like freelance
I'm happy
life?
Really, I feel like the less people I've got to talk to, the better. As funny as that might seem, like there's one thing like talking to your friends and inboxes and stuff. That's one thing, but when you're like firing emails back and forth about work-related shit, I'm just not right into that, and I'm not into to jobs where people have got all like these, like what would you call it, call time. You know when you got call time and you got to be somewhere at 8 p.m. It's like you've got all your makeup artists and all this shit coming, and I'm not right into them sort of shoots. Really, it's not really my style. I'd rather turn up to something and shoot it like immediately. Whereas like some of them things you can turn up, you can be waiting around for like 3 hours before anything starts happening. And I just feel like every time I do a job like that, I'm never on too much of a buzz. You know what I mean? I'd rather just take a camera, grab some interesting people, and we go do some shit. You know what I mean? So.
How far into it, when you started, did you realise that it was going to be a career? Because one thing I love when I speak to people who are, self-sufficient and they've done so well off the back of the passion, but they've turned it into a career, is you're learning the skills of being a boss while you're going about. You're learning from experience, you're learning from the different encounters, and subtly it steps into this is like my career. This is like, so I wonder at what point it stepped over for you.
Yeah. Sometimes I feel like it still hasn't. I don't know. I feel like I'm a really just kind of easygoing. I'm always a bit pretty laid back about stuff. I never think too much about it, and I don't do right much in terms of promotion and pushing it as a business. I just kind of you know, like some people go balls deep on the promotion and like branding themselves and all this. I don't do none of that, just because every video I tend to do, I make it for someone else most of the time, and so I'm never too asked about putting my own branding on it and pushing it and all this and that. And so there is quite a few steps I feel like I probably skip out, and so it could be more businessy, I guess, but that's not really who I am, I don't think. And I don't know, I'm just kind of the same boy who was making little videos of stuff that he found funny, and that 15 years ago is what I am now. Do you know what I mean? I'm just picking up cameras, shooting it within the moment, editing it, and jobs are good. And that's kind of how I see it, really. So, yeah.
Are you ever involved with any of the writing side? Like, do you do any writing? Is it anything that you'd write and then look to create as well?
There hasn't been, but me and like a few of my best mates, we've spoken a few times. Like, oh, we need to start writing scripts and like shooting little movies and little. Want to do like a short film, 10-15 minutes sort of thing, and just kind of see how it goes. I bet it is really good fun, to be fair. But even if I was to shoot something like that, I'd want it to be like, I won't want no like makeup artists and that involved. I just want to shoot like, don't think everyone needs to be looking spot on and that. I just want to shoot like some cool scenes with my mates. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, one of them.
When you put her in through, like going from place to place, or even when you just sort of like living every day, do you see stuff and you're like, I'm earmarking that as a future shot?
Yeah, maybe for something like a little music video or whatever. Like, I do quite a few little grimy bits, and there has been days when like I've seen just like a dark little grimy looking tunnel, and I thought, right, well, I'll come back here in a month and we'll shoot that tunnel. Yeah. I feel like most of my stuff I do really is weddings nowadays, so it just tends to be less of that. You're shooting at the venue and whatever.
Fair. I mean, for me, everything like when I've seen your stuff, I think the master is always in the edit as well.
Yeah, 100%.
Like it's a properly different skill. Like, I mean, how does editing not take up so much of your time? Because I reckon that once you go down the rabbit hole of editing, you're into it. And
Yeah.
it must be like a producer, for example. It must be like, oh, I need that kick drum when they're working on it and tweaking on it.
Yeah, it's so long. Editing, it does take plenty of my time. Most of my life. I'm editing every single day, really, even if it's just like half an hour or something. But I should put more time into it. I should really just sit down and focus and crack it out. But it's long and it annoys me. It's kind of like the bane of my life sort of thing is editing. But at the same time, I can't complain. I'm kind of sat in my room. I've got music on. I'm chilling. Do you know what I mean? There's worse places it could be, and could be doing harder shit. So I always look at that as well. Like I don't really enjoy that side of it. But if that's my biggest problem in my life, then I shouldn't be complaining. Do you know what I mean? So.
Nah, you're right. And I suppose as well, when you're shooting with the edit in mind anyway. So as long as you know you've got the pieces and you're lining it, then as soon as it's all on time frame, it's good to go. Obviously, a lot of tweaks.
Yeah, I think it's mad that there's people who don't edit. I mean, who purely just edit and don't film. There's like people whose jobs is like full-time editors. That to me is like crazy. That's like I just can't see like why you'd be doing that. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I've had a few clients, like quite big clients, where I've just only been the film, and then I send them the footage, and they do that, and that's always a little bit sad if it ends up being a shoot where I think, oh, that shoot was sick, I wish I was editing it, sort of thing. But then there's like plenty of jobs that I've done where I thought, I'm buzzing that I never have to touch that again. Like, mate, I'm paid, I'm chilling. Do you know what I mean? So, it can depend on the project more than anything, but yeah, I would never be purely an editor. I think that'd drive me crazy. So
I think as well, it's like you capture with a certain look and an identity to how you want it to be. So to then have somebody else edit it, but then never having a say in what's been captured and it's been given something to create something, it must peck their head.
Yeah, definitely. I remember so back to the Sick Life, the TZ documentary sort of did. When that first went on Made in Leeds TV, and I forgot what the guy was called, but he had no idea, I don't think, like the time behind editing like a 25-minute episode of a documentary. And so like 2 days before, he was like, send me all the footage, I'll edit it. And I was like, I can't remember why that had happened and why I weren't doing it. I genuinely can't remember, because the first couple of episodes weren't edited by me. And so he was meant to have this episode ready to go live on TV like 2 days later. And he was just ringing me like, how do you do this in this time and all this and that? And I was like, because I don't do it in 2 days. I'm doing it for maybe like 2 weeks, 3 weeks before or something. So yeah, it's long, but you know.
So you seem you're very understated in your abilities and your quality. You seem like you're in a good place though.
Understated in what way?
In like, from outset, you've achieved a lot and you've smashed a lot, and you've like, but it seems like like you say, maybe with the advertising, not the advertising, the self-promoting of yourself, really. You just seem like you're really like understated and humble with it all, in the sense of, you know what your worth is, and it's like, your work is your worth.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, as I said, I just try to make it not so much about me with all the work. I guess like videos that are my own, which is not many. Really, if I think back over like the last 10 years, videos that have been purely my own projects, there must be only like 5 or something. And so every other video has always been for somebody else, and I've just always branded it as theirs, put their logos on it, sent them it, and that's how I like to do it. I don't want to be like, it's just, I don't know, I'm serving them, I'm not serving myself so much. And I don't know anyone who, I don't know, that's just kind of how I see it, really. And I don't think there's people who just, their like number one important thing is having like sponsored posts on Instagram of this and that, and trying to push it that way. And I don't know, I'm just not really asked for that, really. So
when you look back at your career, does it, you know, and you get those moments where you're involved with projects with like filming Robert De Niro when he's coming over and doing his stuff, or Conor McGregor, you posted up for another one when 3 days after like the Floyd Mayweather fight. Like, these must be pinch yourself moments.
They're cool, yeah. They're definitely quite cool. But I was saying this on a podcast the other day. They're just the long nights. Them shoots, they're maybe like 8 hours, and there's probably like an hour amongst it where I think this is really cool, and what I'm shooting is like a very big opportunity. But then there's a lot of like, there's like maybe 7 hours of just shooting, just kind of nonsense. I guess people queuing up and people eating and shit, where I'm just like, this isn't inspiring me, and it's not inspiring anyone else. Like when they're probably looking at it, I mean, you've got to sell the full package, obviously, for what those nights are. But I mean, filming people queuing up and filming it's career by no means. So
say that last bit again. So just from
right,
the people queuing up.
Just saying, yeah. So them nights is like, it's probably 8 hours of filming, and there's probably like an hour of it where I think this is a really cool opportunity, and I'm buzzing that I'm around these people. But then there's like 7 hours of filming stuff that I'm not asked about. You know what I mean? People eating, people queuing up, and that. So, but yeah, man, they are cool. They're cool jobs. I'm happy that I've done them, but they're not the height of what I want to do. That, like, you know what I mean? I don't feel like when I do one of them, I'm not like, oh, I've accomplished something mega sort of thing, like, by no means. So, yeah.
What would you like to aspire to film, like, what, you know, like you just said there, like the height? Do you have a vision of like where you want to take it with the height of it?
Yeah, so I've done like a couple of jobs in like Bangladesh and Lebanon and shit like that, where you go abroad and you shoot sort of like shooting like poverty footage, I guess, and they've been for adverts for like on TV and stuff. You know, like when you see an Oxfam advert of people kids in Africa and stuff like that. So I've done a couple of them, and for me, that's the most rewarding sort of thing that I've done, and I'd love to do more of it. I think I'm on the verge of like sealing a deal with a client again who do that sort of thing. So hopefully they'll send me away on stuff. But I feel like when I'm doing them jobs, they're like, you just kind of you're seeing insane parts of the world while getting a bit of money for it, and you know what I mean, can't complain, can you? So.
What's it like shooting some of them poverty ones? You know, because you're at the face of it, but obviously you've got to get the magnitude of what's happening.
Yeah.
Yet still be around it as well. Like it must have a bit of an impact and a not to be like, whoa, like it must be a proper reality check.
It is, yeah. I don't know, just kind of just got to take in the sights while you film them, sort of at the same time. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes it's like you might do an insane day of like filming like crazy stuff, and then ultimately you've looked at most of it through your screen. You know what I mean? Like while you're filming it, like you just watch that in a little box in front of you. So I don't know. You got to try to find the moments about actually looking around with like your real eyes and looking at shit. But nah, man, they're exciting. They're exciting trips. But for what was asked. But yeah, man.
Nah, just about like obviously facing that poverty while you're filming it. But I think you covered it really, that answer. So final few from me then is, as I say, taking it back to the start with like the vlogging side of it. If there are people that are watching that are coming through in the game, have you got any sort of words of wisdom or tips or any falters that you might have encountered early doors which you want to pass on some knowledge about?
For vlogging, I've not really done it, but I am looking to maybe start vlogging later on this year. I think when like stuff gets exciting again, because I'm not caught up, you know, like I said, I'm caught up for the first time in years on my work. It will give me the chance to be able to film something like vlog style and then edit it like pretty immediately. So I do want to start doing it myself, but at the same time, I've not really done it so much before, so I ain't got loads of advice. But use phones. Phones are like totally the ones, I think. Do you know what I mean? I think I'm going to be using my phone when it comes to it. Either that or a little GoPro or something. But what you on with at the moment? You?
I'm doing at the minute writing some scripts, doing these chats, and me stand up and DJing. But obviously DJing's not at the minute. But I'm writing a lot of good material for my comedy. The comedy's good, man. I'm the UK Dave Chappelle.
Is it? Yeah. Dave, man. I love Dave, to be fair. So.
Well, that's the level. That's the level. Like he's the goat. So if I'm not going for goat status, what's the point?
Yeah. Have you watched Afterlife recently?
Yeah, mate. Really good.
Gervais fan?
Yeah, man. Massive. Like The Office is my go-to. I must. If I don't quote The Office 3 times a day, like I don't think I've achieved anything.
Yeah, sure. What did you think of Afterlife? Did you like it?
Yeah, man. Like the first one was amazing because it was proper left field. Wasn't expecting it to go as deep as it did, and yeah, it was powerful. Do you know what I mean? It was really powerful because it really gave a good inkling into grief, you know, like and it really like almost like a sieve. It was almost like it took the goodness out of grief, you know, and that's a weird term to even put on it, but that's the majestic nature of how he wrote it. The second one I thought was good and still like 5 out of 5 amazing. I just felt he'd found his rhythm, and it was almost like you could tell certain things you could tell certain things were going to happen, but it was still great how they played out.
Yeah, sure. The first series, so many of the jokes were using humanity, you know, like his most recent stand-up, and so I've seen humanity like 5 times or something. So just a little bit like I felt like there were a load of recycled jokes, whereas the latest Afterlife, I feel like all of it were fresh, and I thought it were absolutely spot on me. My mate linked me he'd screenshotted a discussion on Facebook the other day where someone had put a status saying, "Has anyone seen Afterlife? Should I watch it?" And then a girl had replied to it saying, "Yes, so funny, you will love it." And he'd screenshotted it, sent me it saying, "What a funny way to review Afterlife just by describing it as so funny." To be fair, it has got hilarious bits, and I did laugh out loud, but you wouldn't just describe it as funny, would you? It's got a bit of everything in that. I think I beefed hard on the final 3 episodes of this second series. I didn't really cry much on the first one, but that second series, well, I've been tearing up loads of times, so yeah, man, I thought it would work of art, not gonna lie.
Yeah, well, the thing is as well, like, he's proper welling up in it, and I know he's like an actor, but I wouldn't say, like, if you said to me, like Ricky Gervais, I'd say writer and comedian, and I know he acts in his stuff, but his acting in this was class.
His acting in second series of Afterlife was so good. I thought, yeah, definitely. His crying scenes and that is bang on with him, isn't it? I reckon he must. I feel like he might have something in his life that maybe like triggers him. Do you know what I mean? And he thinks about it and he kind of gets into the role of it. He might have lost like his dad or something. I don't know, but
I agree, and I was trying to think what it was because you know he speaks about his partner Jane a lot, so it's not his partner, but that relationship he has with the lady in the video, you know, his wife who in the show who dies, like their chemistry is unbelievable as well.
yeah, it is. Yeah, he nailed it.
Yeah, he's my out of the UK. He's up there. Him and Peter Kay. But like, The Office has impacted my life massively. Are you on that group on Facebook? The what did we get? Eric Hitchmore group.
That what?
There's a group on Facebook, a massive Office group called "What Did We Get Eric Hitchmore."
Yeah.
That's the name of the group, but it's all topical like memes and posts. So say like this Dominic Cummings stuff that's happening. Like there's a video of him coming outside when all reporters are like stood around him and he's going, "You're meant to be 2 meters apart, you're meant to be social distancing," and then it cuts to an Office clip and it's David Brent going, "Hypocrite warning."
Yeah.
Real good page. I'll tag you in it, man. It's real good banter.
Nice.
But
I
yeah.
was thinking earlier, I was going to say to me and you have met twice in real life. Could you tell me both places where it is?
Mint.
No.
We've only met twice in real life.
We've met twice in real life, me and you, yeah. And I was thinking earlier, because I know exactly where both of them are, and I was wondering if you'd know where either of them are.
I'd have thought it was Mint.
No. So one of them was, you worked at TikTok, didn't you, in Leeds?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we went for like my 26th birthday. There was like me and 7 of my mates, or however many you used to have in one room and whatever. And you were the guy who like spoke us through it all and everything. But then I'd met you previously to that, and while you were talking to us at TikTok, I was thinking, I wonder if he remembers that he's met me before. So you'd met me before at Zoo Project Festival down south, and I were laying in a bath, and you were sat next to me talking to me in the bath. And then dry bath, you had an Arsenal top on. Arsenal had played that day, and yeah, so that 2 places me and you met, and I was thinking, I bet he don't remember either of them.
That's mad. I remember that at Donington.
Yeah, Donington. Yeah.
I fully remember that festival.
Yeah, it was decent. I ended up filming that a couple of times, but that was the first year that they'd done it, I think. And yeah, I just always, it was the first day as well, and I remember I was just laying there in a dry bath. I had my camera on me because I was doing video, and then you were just, we were chatting and that.
That's mad. I didn't realise that. That's mad.
Yeah. So wait, do you live in Leeds now? Yeah.
Yeah, in Burley.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, mate. Like it's the epicenter. I always say even when I'm winning BAFTAs, Grammys, and Brits, I'll still live these sides.
Yeah, mate. I don't have any plans to kind of move out of Wakefield, and I've got like best friends who live in London. My brother lives in London, and they're always like, "Do you not want to move to Leeds or Manchester or London?" I'm just always well happy with Wakefield. I love it, me. I feel like it's not hard to get to where you need to be. Like, I mean, you live one place, and then say you needed somewhere else, wherever, if it's in the country or out of the country, you just go on that day. Do you know what I mean? And then you come back to your house and you're chilling. So
I agree. I think you need a solid base.
Yeah, I'm happy just being around my friends. As long as I can see my friends within 5 minutes of wanting to see one of them, I'm happy. Do you know what I mean? So
that's what I mean. That's what, you know, when I said understated before, like I meant that as like a proper nod, like a compliment, like, because you can get the allure of like Eddie here, there, everywhere, and especially like with the contacts that you've got, and people are always like, "Oh, if you go there, you might meet more people." But you seem so level with where you're at. You seem so just like, you know, zen with it all. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Thank you very much. I'd like to think I am really. I think just more than anything, I'm just pretty easygoing. So I'm not. I don't know. I'm happy to live to do exciting shit when the opportunity arises. But in terms of like my downtime and that, I'm just very content, kind of in my room, or just. I don't need like something mad going on at all times. You know what I mean? I don't need to live in like a city centre on just like an average day of seeing all this mad shit. I'm just always just happy in here, or happy at the gym, or happy just chilling with my mates and that. So.
So when it does come to your vlog, what do you feel it'd be on?
I think it will just totally depend on the jobs that I'm doing and like whatever I get booked to do. Like say I get like I'd love it if if I do go film more of these like charity the charity footage sort of stuff. I'd love to make them into like try juggle it and film their bits, but also like maybe try get some vloggy sort of bits done while I do it. Because I've done a couple of them and I proper regret that I didn't do them. I did a few like shitty little Snapchats and that, but I should have really like been on the ball and tried to document myself there more, because I did go to some crazy places and there were some mad stories. I got put at gunpoint in Dhaka, and it was just me and this guy called Muhammad Ali, and he was showing me around, and it took me into like literally one of the most dangerous slums in Dhaka, which is the capital of Bangladesh, and I was somewhere where I genuinely believe there won't have been many white people will have been there. And I went under this like motorway bridge. There were like 16 of these young lads living under a motorway bridge, like all just on cardboard boxes and that. And as I walked in, the guy, he was like, "Welcome." I walked in this camera and he was like, "Are you Muslim?" I said, "No." He said, "Are you Christian?" I said, "No." And he literally pulled a gun up. And I was stood maybe like 10 meters away or something. And there were a moment of silence where I was like in pure. It was just like, I don't know, it was just a moment of silence, and all of the lads started laughing, all these like 16 lads who were living under the motorway bridge. And then they just kind of put gun down, and then before I was filming these lads passing the gun about, and they were pointing at the camera and shit, and yeah, it was crazy. So
That must have been surreal.
Yeah, it was awful. My mum was fuming, to be fair, because like she hates me going on them jobs. They're pretty dangerous, really. And yeah, when I told her about that, she wasn't happy about it all. But it was like one of them moments where I just wish I'd somehow like documented it a little bit more. Do you know what I mean? The only person who could ever believe me is Muhammad Ali.
Muhammad Ali, yes.
Yeah, he sounds made up in himself. So yeah, I think next time I go on one of them jobs, I want to be trying to vlog it a little bit more, really. So
good man. Well, stay safe. Respect for the chat, and I definitely look forward to seeing like the other side of stuff like that, like the vlogging side of it, because I think you've got a good eye to be able to, like you said, document it all, man. Like that, like think about that trip that you and TZ when you were on the train. I can literally picture the whole like sequence. You know what I mean? Like, so that speaks testament.
I think a lot of the time though, as well though, regarding vlogging, I'm that sort of active and talking on my Instagram story already that I'm almost already, well, I guess I am already vlogging. You know what I mean? There's not really going to be that much difference between doing it for my Instagram story and then like actually vlogging it. The only difference probably is that it stays like saved on a video somewhere on YouTube or something. So I don't feel like there's that much difference in it, because I do already talk to the camera quite a lot. So it's one of them. I don't think I don't know. It's going to be hard to like juggle your phone, actually filming something, and vlogging it all at the same time.
You might be able to intermerse the two. You know, like if you get a few lead shots.
I mean, I've wondered that. So, like, so I'm looking to like add more content and that to my YouTube, and basically I've got loads of like all my old Instagram stories and stuff. So I might kind of save them and then kind of edit them in between like the footage that I actually shot on my proper camera within the moment. Do you know what I mean? So I've been wondering that I could maybe put together. I could probably maybe like backdate 10 vlogs from like holidays that I've been on, where I've got all the footage and I've got all the Instagram stories, and I could probably maybe put like 10 vlogs together from stuff that's already happened. But whether that'd be worth it, I don't know. Whether people would watch, I don't know. But I might give it a go, I think, yeah.
Might be just to see if you can tell the story of what you're trying to capture, so you get into your rhythm of it. And then, as you say, when you do go into these new vlogs, you can still, it's almost like people are going to be used to seeing the phone side as well as the camera side.
Yeah, definitely. So
there you go. I always like to give people a bit of some pearls. There's the pearls.
Yeah, hopefully it'll
See if he comes back. Hey, sorry. You just
yeah, it's one of
you
them
just
things.
saying hopefully it'll happen.
Yeah, hopefully it'll happen. It's kind of one of them plans where I do think ultimately it probably would be beneficial, but I don't know. I'm just maybe not that on the ball with something like that. Do you know what I mean? I'm always just kind of happy, just kind of getting by. I'm not like, I don't know. I don't know. That sounds a little bit lazy, and I guess it is, but I don't know. I do have these ideas. I'm like, yeah, that probably could do well. And then before I know it's kind of out of my mind, and I've not really gone for it. So maybe we'll see. Hopefully I'll start vlogging.
You're definitely not lazy with your workload and the quality of the workload, but maybe as your own personal ambition, just set yourself that, you know what I mean? And don't even put a timer on it, and then there's no pressure, do you know what I mean? It's like you say, you imagine like being held at gunpoint one, do you know what I mean? These like beautiful pockets, like even if they're just there for you to like add to whatever, man. Like if you treat it with that mentality, then there's no pressure on it.
Yeah, we'll see. And if I do them, I'll dedicate them to you.
Yes. Respect. Well, you look after, brother. Take it easy. Stay safe. And I look forward to the third physical meeting.
I know. Yeah, the third. Mate, we'll make sure we have a couple of bevies and that after this is all done. So
100%. Stay cool, brother. Respect. Peace.
See you in a bit, lad.
Bye. Shout out to Ben there. Quality videographer. I keep dancing around with son. That's why I'm sort of like voguing at the camera. But yeah, shout out to Ben there. Like quality videographer. Main reason why I wanted to speak with him to just speak about the different projects he's been on with. Really, yeah. So it was a cool outlook what it was giving, and yeah, just cool to link up with him there. So there you go. If you're new to this is Loose Lips. I'm Ben Random, and I've got one more chat which will be happening in 8 minutes time with James Guy, who is the founder and CEO of King of the Hills. So join me in a few. Bye.